Hello, good morning class, and good morning everyone that's joining with us online on YouTube or in the future. Today we'll be starting another day of our NTRC Python training program here in Soufriere for our final leg of the program. Today we will be starting again, like we did in cache trees and in report. We will be doing one of our icebreakers. So class, today we're going to play somewhat of a game or programming game where I'm going to act like a robot, and you're supposed to give me very specific instructions for me to move from a spot at the back of the classroom, outside the door, and to the front door. So here are the instructions that I know and the variables that are defined. I know what's a meter, I know what's a degree, I know what are my different joints, and I know meters per second. So I know hand, arm, elbow, foot, leg, knee. I don't know what. So with that information, I want you to be able to program me or give me very, very specific instructions for me to move from this spot at the back of the class to the door and to the front door. And we begin whenever you're ready.
Move left leg, forward, right, up on the top. Right.
Move right leg.
Forward. Forward. I see no meat. I mean, it's not that it's a lot of see more than that. Raise left leg and move forward.
I don't know what's his syntax.
Okay. Move left leg and move left leg 1 meter forward, right leg 1 meter forward, continuous 10 seconds.
I don't like that programmatic too.
Very dirty code, very dirty code. Too much.
Uplift.
Okay,
Uplift left leg forward.
Uplift, I don't know what's uplift.
Move right leg forward and I want to say like continue with like.
So when you have to walk, what's the first thing you do before you even move forward?
You lift up your leg.
Okay, so think of what do I have to do now in this position?
Lift left leg forward.
Okay, so how much do I have to lift my left leg?
And
And how do I lift my leg
1
forward?
meter.
So
okay, wait, so you can make a loop? You can make a loop?
yes.
That's what I was trying to do.
Like, okay, yeah. So
But you have to first know what's the first thing you need to do for it to be able to make a loop. So let's try to think of.
Give the command first, then.
75 degree. No, like I have to say,
If
your left leg in front of your right leg or your right leg in front of your left leg, you move the other leg in front of it.
I don't understand the feel you just said it. But
Like, move
If-
left leg forward.
Like,
yeah, if your
Left leg is left.
if you yeah
Why are we using that if?
huh?
Why are we using that if?
You say if you.
Don't we just want me to move forward?
Yes. Alright, so
when we get to your move
Wait,
forward.
basically just
Leave
continue your left leg 1 meter into the air and proceed forward in a both of your legs.
If I lift my left leg 1 meter in the air, I'll do something like this.
Okay.
My legs hit, I did like
In a
this.
continuous
Lift leg,
motion.
I don't know what's continuous motion.
Alright, lift leg 180 degrees backward and what?
Let's just continue with what I was doing already.
Okay,
Shift left leg forward.
Okay, so I have more than just a leg. I have a foot, I have a knee, I have a hip.
Okay. Raise
Raise your left foot.
knee.
And
Okay, here's my knee.
bring your
Raise
knee
your
parallel
right
to the
knee.
ground.
But what
Wait,
is
okay.
left leg
45 degrees.
Okay, now we're
90.
thinking
Yeah.
now.
You said right, you lift your left.
Doesn't make him use his right because you have to come forward.
Exactly.
His left leg already backward, so you have to make it
No
come forward
stretch.
before you.
Huh?
You know stretch.
No,
No,
you
I
already
don't
told us
know
the words,
stretch.
you know.
Extend. Just make him bring it forward. Extend
1 meter.
left leg.
Alright, 1
How
meter.
do I can't extend my left leg in this position.
If he put his right
Right foot down.
Everything
Right
alright.
foot. 1 meter forward and down.
What?
Just make him stretch.
Yes,
Put your
that's
right
what I
foot.
want. Make him bring his right leg.
Alright, put your right foot 2 meters forward and to the
My
ground.
right leg cannot
Say
go
1
meters
meter,
forward.
Half a
1
meter
meter,
forward.
half a meter forward and drop down to the ground. To the ground.
I don't know what you're going to do.
Okay.
Let's go with that so we can make some progress.
So that is
I don't know what to do that same motion with my other leg.
Loop your left leg to what your right leg do and just keep looping everything. Loop
Okay,
everything.
so I'm in this position.
Yeah, loop the
The
command I
first,
just
the,
told
the
you.
first thing you told me was put this leg at 45 degrees, so I'm something like this.
Oh
Not
Only
all
myself, so I will fall.
Yeah. So put your body, your top
Okay.
half of your up your hips.
Up and torso.
Forward a little bit. A little bit. Well,
what's
half
that?
a meter.
Half a meter?
Yeah,
Half a meter is something like
Oh
this.
no, no feet forward.
Make him run now. Make him run now.
We can make him run.
You can't make me walk, you have to make me run.
Oh, 0.25 meters forward.
forward first.
Yeah. Loop 0.25, and then you look what you just did with your right leg to your left leg.
He'll still fall.
No, you're not going to
you won't
fall.
fall.
You won't fall.
Okay, so y'all told me first thing I have to bring my
Yeah.
leg
Yeah,
to 45,
Put it down.
then I
Now just loop it. Loop it.
okay.
Holy shit, you walking. Wait, we don't tell you for how long though.
No. Stop.
Not yet.
No, that's giving you quick Continue forward.
Continue forward. Continue forward.
10, 9, 8.
You do not stretch, but you
Stop. No more. Okay. Now.
Put your leg.
Put your body leg
Left
in
leg
the
down.
right.
Put your
leg down.
Put your left leg down.
Turn your whole body.
Don't make him
No,
put his leg down.
Turn your whole body to a 90 degree.
Okay.
Rotate your body 90 degrees to the right. Put your leg down. What are you not rotating your ankles to?
Because you don't tell him to do it.
I say your whole body.
I don't know how to do it. You have to tell me to rotate my
On your heel, on
Rotate
your
your
heel.
ankle
Rotate your whole body. On your heel.
90 degrees to the left. To the right. To the right.
On your heel, that is connected to the ground.
Put his left leg
Rotate with your left leg down.
Okay, wait, at some point, I put my left leg down.
Put your left leg down. No sure. Now 90 degrees to the right.
Rotate your body 90 degrees to the right.
What am I rotating? 90 degrees?
Rotate your two ankles 90 degrees to the
Rotate
right.
your whole body. Your whole body.
But look different facing, so turn the rest of your body 90 degrees to
What's
the
the rest
right.
of my body?
Your upper
Your
half.
Your hips.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright. Now continue forward in the loop you was a while ago.
Continue forward in the
I mean, you understood it a while ago.
You understood it a while ago,
Continue
you
forward.
just
You
stop
continue
there.
forward. Hold on.
You have to tell him in the game.
Okay, so we're doing the same loop.
Yeah, it's the same loop again. Don't forget your body.
Continue
Oh,
for
7 seconds.
5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright.
Oh no, you're too close to the door.
Now take your left hand, lift it up to the doorknob and tilt.
I don't know what's a doorknob.
Shift your left,
Raise your right
left, your left hand.
Let me see what I'm good at there. That's like
that's like okay, wait.
75 degrees.
No, 55.
Yeah. Okay.
Now continue to close your hand.
No,
No, you have to hold it first. You have to hold it first.
Go forward by 1 centimeter.
Go forward.
Move to the right. Move to the right by 2 centimeters.
What's
With your left arm. Your hand. Keep your hand.
2 centimeters.
Yeah. Now, continue to close your hand.
Close your hand.
Grip object.
What do you use? What fingers do you use?
Okay. Take your thumb.
Bring your thumb on your
Rotate
left.
your
Rotate it.
I don't know how to bring my thumb on my left hand.
Rotate your thumb by 120 degrees.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Continue to fail.
now, bring 4 fingers up. Which on
Which
your
4 fingers?
Your pinky, index, middle, and ring finger
Around the
upward.
I don't know what's that.
Oh my god. Middle.
I try to raise them. Raise your fingers. Oh my god. Okay, it working though. Okay, continue motion.
I'm trying to continue motion. Physical errors. Physical constraints.
Something like that or like that?
Like that.
Like,
Oh, rotate your hands to the. Oh, right.
Robert,
180 to the left. 180 to the left. No, but the right that side, but. Okay,
Alright, make
Okay, let's try and close my fingers first.
Make it turn it back so you'll be able to.
While keeping your
We rotated it what, 120 degrees?
yes.
And that was like clockwise. So what I want to do with my four fingers?
Rotate it anti-clockwise by 100.
Okay.
Now rotate your wrist by
180.
In what direction?
to the right.
Or to the right, is not like
Anti-clockwise.
Clockwise.
anti-clockwise?
Yes.
And pull! How do I pull? What's pull?
You don't know what's pull?
Bring your left hand to your hip.
Okay. While
By how much?
your hands are connected.
But his hands stick there already, so it's just bring it.
Pull by half a meter. Pull by half a meter.
Half a meter, what is?
Backward.
Okay.
Then you.
Keegan, like he said, they told you pull it forward and you pull it backwards.
He didn't say forward.
I know, they said pull it backwards.
No, to your hip. He said to your hip. He said to your hip.
Okay.
And alright, while holding the object with your left hand, you bring your you proceed to the right. No, you have to go. You know swing.
I don't know, see.
to the front door.
Too much coding. Already holding object with left hand.
Yeah.
Too much coding. Unnecessary code.
When we say we have to make it drop it.
Release fingers.
No, you can't.
Okay, drop all your muscles. Drop all your muscles in your hand.
No, make him go
Like
right
just
back.
release all the muscles.
Make
in
it
your
do
hand.
that.
Robot, how are you moving myself?
Make him go right back. Let me see.
Whatever.
Too much input. Too much input.
Self-destruct.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Flat on the floor.
Okay. Now, run
I like it to
up
be someone-
for walking. Run up for walking.
Then I'll just go
No, you
down.
said
No, I know, just walk.
Error.
Do it. Just do it.
Physical error. Robot is malfunctioning. Abort.
Okay.
Somebody continue.
Okay.
Another 3 persons.
I just sit down.
Backwards, let me see it.
Actually, just blow it. Okay, I already see that.
Just blow up the rubber. Self-destruct.
We have to get into the front door.
Bring your
AJ.
your right leg 2 meters to the back.
2 meters. 2 meters.
Don't drop the door, yeah?
Bring your left leg 2 meters to the back.
To the back, you're going to hit his on the door. Wait, what? On that door?
Bring your right leg 2 meters to the back.
Why? Because you have to make space.
I didn't know robots could do
Because
that.
release,
Make him drop the door now.
How do I release?
Okay.
Just open hand.
rotate, from
Open hand.
left thumb.
Okay, yeah.
Remember we are making rotate it. Clockwise.
Rotate your thumb 120 degrees
Anti-clockwise.
anti-clockwise.
Rotate.
And do the same thing for the 4 fingers and see.
Okay, well, I already have 120 degrees. Anti-clockwise. Those will have to go clockwise.
No,
So-
and everything clockwise. Watch out the door is no it clockwise.
No, my thumb would have been anti-clockwise. My 4 fingers would have been clockwise.
All you need to
No,
is
to open it.
is
So if you take
the robot to release you.
Yeah.
So I don't know why all the code.
Bring the index, middle ring, and pinky finger.
Rest position. 0 degrees.
Yeah, 0 degrees.
Okay. Okay.
Bring your left leg.
Left hand.
No, make him
Bring your left leg
Make his
one
reach back to his
Make it-
I cannot
half
do
a
that.
meter.
I cannot do that.
Ow.
Physically impossible.
elbow to hip.
What?
Return
Huh?
and to
Return elbow to hip. Which
Yeah.
elbow?
Bring your left hand to your hip.
Bring left leg.
Bring right leg.
Bring that to your hip.
One
That's his
meter.
left
One
leg. That's his
meter.
leg. Oh,
front.
yeah.
What?
Bring your right
Right
leg.
leg.
1 meter
With
front.
torso lean forward. Yeah.
Bring your left leg 1 meter forward. Bring your right leg 2 meter forward.
If that was a while away, would have fallen.
Bring your left leg 1 meter forward.
The robot will need now.
Turn anti-clockwise 30 degrees. Turn your right leg 1 meter. Bring your
Bring
right
your right leg forward.
Where's the rest of the class?
Bring your right leg 1 meter forward.
Left leg 1 meter.
My class students
Bring your left leg 2 meters. 2 meters.
Meters forward. Bring your bring his right leg there.
Turn your left and
So
right.
he has
Yes, turn your left and right to 30 degrees
right.
clockwise.
Now, do the
Then
whole left leg.
walk like that.
Bring your right.
No,
Look from the first command. No, wait. That's too much. Bring your right leg 2 meters forward.
We can just copy the code from earlier.
Yeah.
And just paste
Bring
that.
your left leg 2 centimeters forward. No, when I 2 meters forward. Now look that same command. 2 meters for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wait, stop.
3, 2.
Oh, wow, you're turning up that shit. Hey,
Bring your right hand
45
45 degrees. That's 45 degrees up.
Okay, again.
No, you have to come forward. Bring your left leg
Your whole arm.
1 meter forward.
45 degrees now.
Bring your left leg
Okay.
1 meter forward.
Why you close? Why you?
Moment.
Bring it back.
But you can just do that basically.
Undo. No, you good leg up so we can make him go back while you open his door. Place. Okay. Right. Place from on
Turn from to 120 degrees anti-clockwise.
now and 120 degrees usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the
Rolling.
yeah, you only
Rotate. You have to grip with the.
no you only
You don't know grip.
You don't know grip.
No, we're making grip.
We already gripping your pinky,
Yeah.
ring, your middle and your index finger. You rotating 180 clockwise.
Pinky ring.
Now
Anti-clockwise.
now your wrist and your hand working together, so you take it 180 anti-clockwise.
Okay.
And then bring your right foot back 2 meters back. Your left leg. One. Now you proceed to
Bring
your
your right.
thumb. Your thumb.
No, make
180 to the right. Yeah.
bring your right hand to your hip.
And then bring your
Yeah,
put your hand back to your hip.
Bring your right hand to your
Bring
hip.
your hand back to your hip. No, you bring that. Okay, fine.
Bring
When I
your-
go,
Bring your left.
your left
your
leg
left
1
leg
meter forward. Your right leg 1 meter, 2 meters forward. You don't be done. We okay.
Your left leg 2 meters forward.
2 meters forward.
Right. We finally reached.
Okay, bye
Our
bye.
destination. I think we'll have other books in the board by the time we finish.
Too much error.
Okay, so the point of the exercise was really just to get you out to get a feel of how to think when we about to begin programming either a program, a robot, or device. Our devices follow very specific commands that we give them, and if we don't give them those specific commands, they do exactly what we told them to do. So if we said to move 2 meters, it will move 2 meters regardless of if there's something in front of it. Unless you tell it to move and use some sort of sensor to be able to gauge what's 2 meters, to gauge distance, to gauge if something is in front of it or not. And then every single line of code or everything that the device does is something that we have programmed or we taught it to do. Even when we start going into more complex things like artificial intelligence and neural networks and deep learning, these things were coded, and then the different devices or different robots now start building a database of information, and from that database of information, it's almost like it's learning and it's able to know that this object, I've seen it multiple times, and each time I've seen it, somebody told me that it was a table. So now when I see something that looks rectangular, has these curves, I know that's a table. But if I never saw it before, the computer never saw it, and nobody never told it was a table, I'll never know. Same way when you were young, if nobody never told you it was a table, you don't never know this was a table.
That's fine. I should have said to open your automatic copy sensor.
Okay, so let's go into our class for today. We have to start back from day 2 where we left off.
Why you do that?
So we're going to continue from yesterday where we left off, counters and increments. So you can use the following code to increase a variable by 1. X equals x plus 1. This code takes the current value of x and adds 1 to it and sets the answer as the new value of x. So if x was 5, now it will be 6. This is very useful when counting how many times something has happened. So maybe you want to loop something for a certain number of times. You could set x equals to 0 and add 1 each time the loop occurs. And then stop at, let's say, when x equals 10. So this can be used for any variable, and replacing the 1 with another number will cause the variable to increase that number by 1. So we have a variable called count and increase it by 1 each time something happens. So we could have a variable called y, and so on and so forth. Very simple topic.
Share screen.
Oh, sorry. If the first if statement happens. So let's enter age. 14. 7. So 13 and 7. So what's my discount?
Nothing.
No discount. Why?
Because the age is not less than or equal to it's greater than.
But my month is 7, so why I don't get a discount?
No, it
Let
don't.
it up. You have to have all the requirements.
Yeah, before it is exactly.
So this was false. So everything under this was ignored. So I get no discount. Okay, so let's say my age is 9
Oh, yeah.
and my month is 1.
Your discount is this $200.
And then we checked this variable. We checked this if statement, and my month was 1, which is not equal to 7. So we never ran this code. So let's say I'm 8 and my month is 7. What's my discount? So now let's see if we could try to do some mock examples. And after I added 1 to my x variable, then I asked the user, I created another variable for password. We entered Bob again. Remember our count for x is 1.
Yes. And you enter it 3 times already, so you can't get it.
No, we just entered it once. Our x is still less than 3. So, but since this is false, we're going to ignore this statement.
That means 3 characters.
No, I said X, X is just our count, how many times we've entered the password.
Oh.
So now I'm going to check L if password does not, if the password does not equal password. So remember we entered Bob. So this is true. So that means we're going to print access denied, try again. We're going to add 1 to our X, and then we're going to say, we're going to ask the user to enter the password again, which would be the final try. So we're going to check if password equals password. So if they entered password, let's say we entered Bob again, then this is going to be false because password does not equal password. And then we're going to check the elif. If password does not equal password, we're just going to add 1 to our X. Then finally, outside of this, we're going to check this if statement. If X equals 3, that means we've gone through the code 3 times. Then we're just going to say print UI intruder self-destruct activated. But let's say at any point in time, if we entered password, then we would have broken out of the loop of this if else statement and would have printed access granted. Now I could try to run this, but you won't see it on the very clearly on the screen.
Alright.
Hold on. Okay, so let's run this. F5. Enter password. What password you want to enter? Password.
Oh, wow. I got to try it on the Google.
Okay, so password, and we get access granted,
Yeah.
right? So let's try again. Let's try to get it. Access denied, try again. Then I try to enter password again, we put John. So it told me access denied, try again. Now this is my final try because we know we're only letting us try 3 times. We entered ZTech, which was not the password. So we had so this showed us how to use 2 things: the if statement, the elif statement, nested ifs, and a counter. We used our if statement here to check if it was. Then we used the elif statement. And inside of our elif statement, we have this if statement. And then inside of this elif statement, we have this if statement. And then outside of that, we check lastly to see if x is equal to 3.
So with the indents.
Hmm?
The indents.
With the indents. The indents are alone that let us know if it is inside of this if statement or if it's outside of the if statement. Let me see what other examples do I have. Okay, so let's look at this code for looking at logical operators. Okay, so let's look at this code. First, I asked you to enter your age. So I said age equals input, and I passed the prompt, enter your age. Right? So I asked you to enter your age. Then I asked you to enter your height, and I asked you to enter your gender. So if your age is greater than 16, and your height is greater than 1.7, and your gender is male, then I'm going to print you are tall for your age. And then I said elif, age is greater than 16, greater than or equal to 16, height is greater than or equal to 1.4, and your gender is female, you are tall for your age. Elif, age is less than 16, and height is greater than 1.5, and gender is male, we're going to print tall for your age. Elif, age is less than 16, height is 1.2, and gender is equal to female, we're going to print you are tall for your age. Else, we're going to print you are short.
That one is what I
So you have to put
So-
where you put in the male and female.
realized.
Beg your pardon?
You didn't have to put something that equals to the male.
Yeah, so I have gender.
Oh.
So I said I checking if gender equals male or female.
Yeah.
So okay, so enter age,
Age 13.
13.
Less than 6.
Man,
Enter height.
2 meters. Why you saying that?
Oh, you said 2 meters? Okay, 2 meters. Gender,
A female.
a female.
No.
So we're 13, or 2 meters tall, and we're female. So if our, so what is our,
Well, less than 16. Wait, 19 more than 1.7. Yes, so basically.
no, which, tell me which if statement or else statement.
We did the age is more than more than equal to 16 and I did 1.7. 7. Wait, no.
The age was
You
13.
have to for your age.
The last one.
Less than 16 and then
Because we're less than 16,
And more
our
than
height is greater than 1.2, and our gender was female. So this code ran, and we printed out. Huh? Okay, the 1.4. But what's our age? And 13 is less than 16. So this would have been false, and it wouldn't have run. Okay, so enter new age.
16.
16.
21.
Height.
16. What's our height?
1.5.
1.5. What's our gender?
Male.
Male.
Wow.
So,
The first one. With
okay.
1.5.
So we are 16,
No.
but we're less than 1.5, so this is false.
No.
We're not female. We're 16,
And 1.5. And male.
we're 1.5, and we're male.
Yeah.
So what do we
Not
put down?
more, so it has to be more.
It have
It have
a more equal.
Yeah, so it's
So we print out, you are tall for age.
I don't know. Oh, you not 1.5. I 6 to it.
You what?
Okay, so let's go for this again. Give me another age.
70.
21.
I 70.
Let's go 17.
Oh,
17. Yeah, same. The height.
1.6.
Oh.
1.6.
1.6. What's our gender?
The first one. No, that's less than. So that's.
Our gender is what? Male?
Yeah.
So we're 1.6, our age is 17, and we're male. So this is false. What code is going to run?
Early.
Which element?
Uh,
Age is 17, height is 1.6, and we
You are
are
tall for your. Oh, wait.
and we are male.
I did 1.6 and we are male.
Yeah.
And them sets confusing me.
Else?
You are short for your age.
Because all of this would be false,
Yeah.
and we print out. So nice.
Yo. We don't know what you know, you couldn't bomb the whole of Nineveh up there with one bomb, but you know where you can bomb.
Okay, so
Barrels.
we have.
No way. Those are some fireworks. Ah, this for market.
Okay, so now problems. I want you to write a program which asks a user to enter 5 numbers, then prints out how many of them were even and how many were odd. So you're asking me, enter 5 numbers, then I want to be able to enter 5 numbers, and then you're going to tell me how many were even and how many were odd. So here I entered 45, 78, 12, 34, 55, and then the program told me there were 3 even numbers and 2 odd numbers. You have 5 minutes until break.
Any 5 numbers?
And, well, I'm entering the numbers, so I could enter anything I want.
So the program, you can have something equals to even or odd. You will know.
No, you have to define. How do you know what's an even number and what's an odd number?
The end.
The end. Or how do we know if a number is even or odd?
Modulo 3 is equal to 5.
If then
Okay, so give me Give me a mathematical operation.
Even equal.
So if what?
Number is
If number
In the one space is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
in the one space.
in the one space, I don't think Python
I don't
knows.
think we can do that.
So we're going like, so if number,
E is divided by 2 and no
okay, so if E is divided by 2 and no remainder, so
How?
what operation is that?
That's a mod.
So, okay, so if number modulus, and what are we dividing by? What are we checking there?
2
By 2. So if number modulus 2 equals 0, then that's what? Even. Go forward and be fruitful. There's still more code you need to do, but you're on the right track.
The number modulus 2 equals to 0. What? If number, you have to put that in brackets. If number modulus. Oh, yeah. So, my bad. I didn't put that.
Oh my god, bro. No way.
What y'all gonna do in my Julian afterwards.
If number module
Sorry, that's after.
yeah, you might always get like you want to press the when typing you got read.
Do we finish?
What? That's not happening. Print 10.
I'm saying the last part.
Oh, wait, I have to set each of the values.
Oh, Louis. Wait. I'd say now I'm in the mind to practice. But I do some of these. Telling me on the end number. Oh, I five numbers. Three. I mean. Coffee. What are you doing? I will call you in a welcome up.
Put something inside the input of course.
Oh. Wait, no. Watch that wrong way.
Okay, so mandatory break, 15 minutes. Y'all can come back.
After 10 already?
10:15.
Why time flying so fast? Well, I'm not flying faster.
Because you're only
We were late. We were just 10 past. We were just 10 minutes late. We were late. So you know what time it is? That's a very good point. Yeah.
well, you excluded.
School up. I don't know if you were going to be printed over. Where you are thank you.
Is it after me the end number wrong?
Bro, I print enter 5 numbers, not even good here.
This is part of your work.
Wait,
You don't go for burger, that's me for burger.
wait, that's still doing the same thing.
But what I'm missing, Maria, I'm missing something though.
Wait, that's telling me the ending number wrong. How end in number wrong?
After